This is a first video in a series of videos focused on ActiveInspire software, which is a software that runs the Promethean Active boards that the majority of us have in our classroom here at Hawaii High School. And there's been concern that teachers are not utilizing this software within daily instruction, only using the Active board as a projector screen. So this being the first video, we're going to focus on just the basics of using ActiveInspire software, because some of you have had Active boards and not even had the software installed until recently. And so one thing we'll look at this installation of software is for those that still do not have it on their school computer, but even more importantly, you can put this on your home computer. So you go into the PrometheanPlanet.com, go into support menu. You can go into software and then click on ActiveInspire. ActiveInspire is a free software. It's free for anyone to use. And so you can download this into your laptop. You can download this onto your desktop computer at home. And you can use it to make flip charts, to make out games, to make out activities that utilizes the Active board. Now, you don't need the Active board to make these documents. Only needed them to actually use with the Active board. So we have this download. You click download. You'll go through the typical, do you want to run this, save this, and then you'll install it. And then you'll have the ActiveInspire software onto the computer that you are using. And so just go into the start menu, and we'll start off ActiveInspire. And this takes a little while to run because it's a pretty large program. But eventually, what we call the dashboard comes up. The dashboard is going to come up every single time that you open ActiveInspire. And this is perfectly normal. It's take a little while. Like I said, it's a large program to run, especially on some of the older computers that we have. So you have several options. You have start a new flip chart. You have what's called annotate over the desktop, which is very useful. And if you have a document open, you have the Internet Explorer open, you can actually draw on top of it. Express poll, which that'll be more advanced. You can go with the Promethean Planet itself. You can download things from there. And then configure and training support. Training support for ActiveInspire. There's tons of videos on the ActiveInspire Promethean Planet website. So many you can get bogged down in it. And so that's why I'm just trying to streamline exactly what we need here at Hawaii High School. So I'm going to open a flip chart. Okay. One that I've sort of started making for this PD. Okay, it should be open. Yes. Okay. Here we have just your normal toolbox for ActiveInspire. And this is what's going to be on the screen the entire time ActiveInspire is open. And you can basically up here, you can dock it left, you can dock it right, you put it at the bottom. I like mine floating so I can move it wherever I need to move it when I need to. So, on here, you have several different tools. And this is where some people do get sort of overwhelmed. First off, you have this button. This button is just basically your typical tool menu that you would see in any Microsoft document. Creating new documents, opening, saving, importing, exporting documents and media. It's all here. Your copy and paste is here. To transform things, change them bigger, smaller, all that is there. There's tons and tons of things that through this video series we're going to reach out and look at each one of these. If you have multiple flip charts open, that's always important to where you can look at the one I have open. I can open up a new one. All different kind of things that are going on. My insert, again, I can insert text, I can insert shapes, I can insert media. Again, we're going to look at all these. But basically every tool you could want is in this first document here, this first toolbox, I'm sorry. The next one is going to be just your layout. Now you'll see that when I click on it, I get several different options: at the board, authoring, languages, and these are just different setups of toolboxes. If you're teaching multiple subjects, there's some tools you're going to want to have and some tools you're not going to want to have on your toolbox, because there's tons of tools that you can put into this box. I have mine standard the way that I like it for teaching science, but you can always add and subtract as you want. All right, the next one is when you get really good with ActiveInspire, it just becomes seamless. And I can click on this. It's what's called the desktop annotate. And I can be in the whiteboard section, the flip chart section, where I can draw and write all that I want. It's just like a whiteboard. But even better is I go to my desktop and I can open up a document, or I can open up anything, open it up. This is some quiz bowl stuff we were doing, and I can draw on that. And so it's very seamless. It should be very intuitive once you start dealing with it. And then if I get through with that, I can just clear it off and it's just fine. So desktop annotate we'll deal with a lot throughout this video series. Then we have the next tool, which isn't really a tool, it just sort of simplifies the toolbox. I can always go back to that. It just sort of makes it smaller. Then we have the arrows. The arrows are going to navigate through the flip chart. And so I can go back to my first page. I can be on this page. It's, like I said, very, very intuitive. And then I have all my colors. My colors, it's not just an artistic thing. They're actually very important. I teach chemistry and physics. That's a process. And if you're just doing all your work, when you get done, you can't really tell what you did first, what you did second, what you did third. You just see an entire big problem. And by doing each step a different color, my students can plot that progress easier than if it's all just one color. And it's really helped because even a lot of my students have started bringing different color pens, and we'll have 4 or 5 different colors going on each problem, but it helps to see all the different steps. And you can adjust those colors. You can right-click a color, and you can change that color to whatever color you want it to be. You want it to be a darker green or whatever. You want to make it your own color. It's all very customizable in this section. All right, so those are your basics. Below that, you have your size of your pen here and here. You can make that pen as big as you want to make it. Again, for whatever that you need. Anytime you need to delete something, just clear. Everything goes away. And that slide bar also is all about making that pen bigger or smaller. Going to the bottom half. The bottom half, you have this guy. Okay? And what he is just the pointer. He allows you to choose things. I can choose this. I can move this wherever I want to move it. I can make it bigger, make it smaller. It's just your clicker. Then I have my pen. I have my eraser. So I can take my pen. I can write whatever I want to write. Of course, the eraser, I can bring it in and erase it. Like I said, pretty simple. Then I have all my shapes. Shapes, you have squares, triangles, any basic shape, and then you have click on this little button here, and you have lines and more sort of out there shapes. So, like I said, a lot of customization you can do within the flip chart. Then I have the text. I can type anything there I want to type. I can change the font, I can change the size, I can change the color. Just about anything you can do in Microsoft Word, you can do right here. on your flip chart. And then finally, I have a highlighter. If I had written something, just do a smaller. I can highlight that. Again, it's nothing too out there. Just very basic stuff, very simple stuff that really helps your students sort of get into the lesson. Now we get to the bottom half of the toolbox. And here we have more specialized tools. We have the calculator. We have the keyboard that you can bring up. Again, if you just want to stay at the board the entire time, I can type in there just for my text box or wherever. If I want to go into Explore, I can use that, or I can use my main keyboard, just depending on where that keyboard is at. But here I can show multiplication or whatever we're doing, and you actually can get a scientific calculator on here also. So I like to use this a lot, which is the revealer. I'll click that, and I can have a flip chart that's got the whole screen is full of stuff, but I only see it when they only see what I want them to see. And it reveals only what I want them to see, and then when I want to see the bottom, I can let them see it. The clear button, it's always good. Annotations, that clears anything, does a pen. Objects is going to clear anything that I've drawn. And backgrounds, I can clear the entire page and just reset the page. Reset the page is something very good because I saved this document. So I can draw anything I want to draw on it. I can move it. I can do a pen. Whatever I want to do. But this was saved. This object here was saved. And so this resets it to where my save point was at, which is also very helpful when you've got a huge flip chart and kids are coming up to writing on the board and you're doing notations, and so everything gets saved or can get reset back to your save point. And then the last one is just a whole set of new tools. Like I said, this is video 1. I'm just exposing you. We'll come back and we'll see how each one of these is used. We've seen pen, we've seen highlighter, eraser. Fill works just like anything. You can fill the entire screen with a color. Magic ink, I'll show you how to work on that later. Handwriting recognition, that can be helpful for some of us. I can write something. I can write the same thing I've been writing. But I got the handwriting tool on. Let's see how close it gets. So again, I can take this, I can move it over, and see how the pen, handwriting tool, it can be used very easily with elementary students to show how handwriting and text are related. Shape recognition, same sort of thing. I draw a square. It makes it a square. Just nifty little things you can use at the elementary level, even here at our level too. Spotlight, I like using that because they get to see, again, what I want them to see. I could use that today when I was teaching about the different toolboxes. There's just a lot of different uses. There's all these tools, but it's all up to you how you use them. They're there, but it's just up to you to figure out how to use them. If you're a math teacher, there's rulers, there's protractors, compass, all kinds of different things that we can use within our classroom. And the tools just go on and on and on. So you have to just be aware of everything that is there. So these are just basic, just introduction to what ActiveInspire has to offer. On the next video, I'll start showing you how to put all these tools together to make a flip chart. And so hopefully you're going to go out, you're going to play around some things, come back, and have a better understanding about how this stuff works, and we can start putting it all together.